Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're well and that you've had a good and a safe week. This morning, I wanted just to share a few thoughts on our reading from Matthew's Gospel, and the text set for today was Matthew chapter 10, verses 24 to 39. Matthew chapter 10, verses 24 to 39. If you've not had a chance to read it yet, you might want to just press pause at this moment, read Matthew 10, 24 to 39, and then come back on and rejoin. In this passage, Jesus is giving instructions to his disciples on how to acknowledge him as Lord will involve a cost. He explains how publicly following Jesus might put them against family and friends and members of their household if they're truly to follow him and his ways, his values, and his priorities in life. It's a hard message, and for some Christians, they feel the need to say no to go along with something that their non-Christian family or friends might ask them to do, or to be, or to become. And Jesus says in this passage that there are times in our lives that we have to make a choice. What's it going to be? He's asking, are we going to go along with the crowd, or to follow him? What is it going to be? For example, there have been times when we've all been involved in conversations, I'm sure, with non-Christian friends, and you know that the content or the flavour of that conversation is going a way that you know that Jesus wouldn't entertain if he were publicly present in that situation with you. What do? Do you walk away? Do you remain silent? Or do you say something and confront the issues? Maybe there are events, celebrations, gatherings that we've been invited to, which morally we felt a bit dubious. We didn't want to be seen as the odd one out, and so we've gone with the crowd and gone along with it. Maybe perhaps though for others, it's not so much that we keep getting these challenges to our Christian faith, but that we don't actually see them as challenges at all. We don't see them as things that we have to make a choice over. Jesus in this passage is clearly testing that in each of us. Maybe the reason why we're reluctant to choose the right way is that we're afraid of the cost, how much we'd lose in our life. Well, the answer to that is found at the end of this passage in verse 39, where Jesus says, if you cling to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for me, then you will find it. Why? Because God has a plan and a purpose for each of our lives. As Christians, it's absolutely possible to follow Christ, but to hold on to areas of our lives or aspects of our lives like time or money, and only hand over the bits that feel safe. But Jesus is inviting us to give him all of our lives. Every waking moment, every gift, every skill, every ability, in order that in releasing control of our lives, God may guide us and give us back life in all its fullness as he had planned from us from the beginning of creation. Life enabled and resourced by the Holy Spirit. Life guided through the darkest of tunnel. Life full of joy and inner peace, even when life to others seems chaos and turmoil all around. Jesus says, if you cling to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for me, you will find it. That's a life we will then willingly choose to publicly stand up for Christ among our family and our friends. And when we do so, they will see the life of Christ living in and through us. So now I encourage you this Sunday to read again that passage and reflect on the conversations that we've had in the past where we've remained silent and not spoken out. The events perhaps where we've been challenged to go to, which we've gone to, which we perhaps now on reflection feel we shouldn't have gone to. And ask God to give us the courage to stand up for him, to be able to release all aspects of our life to Christ afresh this week, in order that he might give us back life full and abundant that he's promised for each and every one of us if we know and trust him and follow him as Lord of our lives. May God bless you this week as you keep safe and as you pray for others in our church community, those going back to work, those in our schools, those in our hospitals, those giving so much for other people, let's all pray and support them and commit them daily to the Lord in